Hey everyone, welcome back to the IHC Craft Room. We're keeping the Spooky Season live series rolling with another Halloween craft along. This time we're going to make a burlap wreath. We're going to use the ruffle method to do that, which is super fun. And then we're going to use this lovely lady to kind of complete our wreath. And I'm going to show you a really simple, fun bow. And we'll be using 3 different types of ribbon to do that. And then we'll dress it up a little bit, depending on what I like and don't like. We'll see. So I'm going to get started by showing you that I already broke this off. This is actually like one of those signs that you could like put in your lawn, but I ripped it off super easily, by the way. Not very strong, lady. I'm just saying. Okay, so actually I want to start by getting the sign ready because that's the only thing that we're going to be using glue on right off the bat. And we can let it kind of prepare itself, like dry, while we're working on the base of the wreath. So I'm definitely not going to need this. Can I just pull it off? Yay, that was easy. So everything that I'm using today, I got at Dollarama or Dollar Tree for varying amounts of dollars because nothing's $1 anymore. And it makes me bitter because I'm old enough to remember the time that they were $1. Although, mind you, back then, they didn't have this good stuff. Not that I know of. Okay, so I'm going to be strapping this down to the wreath in some way or another. Once we've built out the base wreath, we can decide where to place her. Because I'm going to have a bow, right? So I kind of feel like I'd probably do sign on the side, bow on the other side, as opposed to the sign up high and the bow beneath or whatever. But we'll see. Once the actual ruffle has happened, I'll probably have a stronger opinion. But regardless, I think putting 4 pipe cleaners will do me well, regardless of where I place this on the wreath ring. So I'm going to start with that. I think my glue gun is toasty enough now that we can do that. So I'm going to, where am I going to put this one? I'll put it on this piece. I'm not planning on cutting that off, so. So last week I made a different wreath. And I burned my finger like a champ. So be smarter than me. Have more self-preservation. And to that end, I'm going to use a toothpick to push this. So what I like to do with my pipe cleaners when I'm making a sign happen is I like to put them in a really deep bed of hot glue and then let that dry and then come back and kind of like encase it with a little bit more hot glue. Is it necessary? Probably not. But I'm nothing if not overkill. All right, kids? I'm going to put it like around here. I normally like to put them in line with each other, so it's irking me a bit, but whatever. What do you want? I don't know why I made this one so long. We'll live with it. Didn't I already have one I was using? Oh, well. I do have finger protectors, which I highly recommend. As you can see, because I'm wearing them not at all. They're not going to really help me with this. Nice. It stinks surprisingly well, considering I haven't been holding it for very long. It's because it's cold down here. That's why. Everything's like, look at how fast that's solidifying. Okay. I put it right, I've tried to put them right near the edge because then you can kind of manipulate where you want to place the sign a little bit more. It gives you a little bit more leeway. Hey guys, hey. Everybody be friends. Okay. So I've used the ruffle method before to make a base wreath, and I've always used it with burlap. I've never tried it with anything else. I should try it with deco mesh one day and see how that comes out. And I find it fun, but then I generally don't do things I don't find fun when I'm not in my 9 to 5. You know what I mean? When I'm under my own steam, I try to do things I enjoy as much as possible. So I like the ruffle method. I find it fast and fun and effective and gives you a really nice full base. Okay, everybody, try to be less annoying. Settle down. I'm seriously shocked that this is already dry. What is happening? Okay. I'm going to set this aside now. And I'll bring it back in like 5 minutes and we'll top off the top of my pipe cleaners just to make sure that. Okay, I think next I'm going to do the base and then we'll work on the bow. By then the sign should be dry. Okay. So the ruffle method uses these two inner rings here. I think I'm going to be using some zip ties for this. You're not going to need more than 2. Okay. And one roll of this burlap jute garland can do this whole wreath, as far as I know. We're going to cross our fingers that I'm not wrong about that, but I'm pretty sure I'm right. I got this at Dollarama for $5. I've never seen black jute at Dollarama before, but I did a little like cartwheel that was not in any way, shape, or form a cartwheel. But I was super pleased. $5, not bad. The same amount, but I think shorter from Michael's would have been probably $12. But you know how I feel about the 40% off coupons. I don't visit Michael's without them. Okay, so I'm going to unroll with it. Okay, toilet paper roll over, under. I'm going to do under for this because it'll be easier, I think. And basically, I am going to slide the burlap between this second ring and the inner ring, and then tuck it so that it's kind of like a taco. Oh, tacos are so good. Okay, so right around that second ring, and I'm going to try to make the burlap be as flush as possible so that the ripple is even and you don't get like a wonky ruffle. And we're going to just start doing that all the way around on this row, and then I will eventually drop to this second row here, and we'll do the same thing and get two full rows of ruffles. So now that I have this positioned the way I want it, I'm gonna take this and kind of like pull one of my ruffles over so that it's going across this crossbar here. I'll pull that across the crossbar, and then I'm gonna take my zip tie, which I happen to have a black one, but a white one would be just fine. You won't see it. Or you could also use a pipe cleaner for this. You don't need to use a zip tie. I just have these. And they're so good. Again, dollar store. Because they're not that hard to deal with because they're skinny. So they're a little bit more floopy, but they still have... You don't even need to tuck this under. I don't need to do that, so stop it. I'm not going to do it. I'm going to cut this. And now we're nice and secure, and it's time to taco. So basically all I'm going to do is pull through and continue to wrap the taco around the ring. That's pretty much it. The worst part is going to be the crossbars have like sharp points where they meet, and that can get stuck in your burlap. So that can be a little frustrating, so keep that in mind. But that's basically all we're going to do is grab and pull and pull and just keep doing that until I can't do it any further in this section because it just won't fit any further. Yeah, this one's really sharp. Hopefully the other ones aren't as bad as this. It's getting stuck a lot. It's annoying. You're annoying. Knock it off. Yeah, it should be easy like that you're just pulling a little bit. And you see what a nice ruffle you get out of that? That's beautiful. Okay, dude. Why are you so stringy? Where are my scissors? Right here. I can't look at this. It's going to irk me. And so easily repaired. And she's irk-free now. See? So easy. Okay. So I'm going to try to keep pulling. Okay. Because we want this to be nice and tight. Now, you can make it a looser ruffle if you like, but the looser the ruffle is, the more likely it will be that you can see the ring, and you don't want that. We're trying to avoid that. This crossbar is really giving me trouble. It's making me be a little sloppy with my halfway point. Maybe that's a better way to do it. I'll prop the ring so that it can't. You always want to remember to tuck so that you can't see that ring. Look at that. It's already so full. And that's basically it. You know, you don't have to cut this at all. This is a no-cut way to make your base. We're going to probably only cut one time, which would be right at the very end. Those ones seem sharp too. I think I'm going to struggle with this. Oh, well, we'll get over it. Doesn't look even to me. There we go. What do you think? Nice, right? I love it. It's so full. And I don't know, I don't really think of burlap that way. I kind of think of burlap as like, where are you? Where's your counterpart? Here? There. You're too long. Okay, good. Okay. I would say there's not much more I can fit here. Okay, so I'm at the crossbar, which is no big deal because all we're going to do is just rewrap our taco. So I'm just going to make sure that I tuck around that. Look, it's still getting stuck on here. Come on, bro. I even passed you now. Can we just get over it? So rude. Okay. So we want that on that side and this on this side so that we can wrap that row. Nice. Okay, let's see. Let's see if this one's easier. Yes, it is. Bravo. Grazie a Dio. Okay, good. So much easier. Oh, my Lord. Okay, so basically you're feeding with your right hand and you're pulling with your left hand. That's the fastest if you're not getting stuck on the crossbar. It goes pretty fast. I don't know that I have faith that this one roll is going to be enough. I might have to go find another roll in my craft stash. We shall see. Okay, so yeah, I love that. It looks so good. So nice and full and so easy and fast. Dude, chill. Nice. We're getting to the end of this section too now. That was so much faster. I have a rogue ruffle. What are you doing? You're confusing me. Okay, I got it. I got it. Everything's fine. Getting a hand cramp. This is asking a lot out of my carpal tunnel hands. Okay. Maybe a couple more. All right, that's 2 sections. Look at that. Nice and full. Mi piace. Yeah, I would be very surprised if I can get 2 rows out of that. All right, here we go. I have rewrapped. If you can fold it inwards, it's easier. Keeps like flipping itself out a bit. Same, sis. I flip myself out a lot too. Nessa. Preach. Beautiful. At the end, I'll go back and cut all the little rando strings that have been pulled because of These rogue crossbars that are just hell-bent on causing drama. Whatever. Before we move on to the next section, I'm going to pause to grab my sign. And we're going to close off the back of those pipe cleaners. Yeah, I wonder how this would look with deco mesh. I need to try it. Do a little experimente. All right, that's all that's going to fit there. Very nice. I mean, you really got to go out of your way to look for the wire. And we're going to do another row. I definitely am going to need another roll of burlap, which I don't have near me. I'm going to have to go grab it, but I'm sure you'll be fine for a couple seconds while I go do that when we run out. Here we go. I don't know if you can see the steam that's coming off this stuff. It's no joke. I'll show you my finger. I refuse to do that. I hate when people do that. Okay. I don't know if this makes any difference, but it makes me feel good. So, how's my battery? Not bad. Now I'm going to move this out of the way again and let it dry some more. A sip of water. Always remember to hydrate, friends. We are full of water. All right, here we go. Starting section. We're starting the second half of the wreath. We've already done half. I feel like that was super fast. You flipped out again, lady. I'm honestly shocked that this did not make it all the way around. I definitely thought that it was the same size as the regular burlap ribbon I have, but obviously it's not. Because I've made a wreath using this size wreath frame before, using like the taupey colored burlap, and one roll was sufficient. I'm not even going to get around one lap with one roll. Oh, well. That strega is going to be expensive. Because let's be realistic, that turned this from a $5 base to now a $10 or $15 base, depending on how many of these I'm going to need. Which is not a big deal when you're a crafter, because you probably already have a bunch of these like I do. I probably have at least 2 more rolls of this, so I should be fine. I just got to go get them. Okay. We are almost at capacity here. Okay, there's no more room there. All right, bear with me, guys. I'll be right back. I gotta go find some more black burlap, because turns out Don't worry, everything's fine. I have 2. I have 2 more. So we are good to go. I just wish I thought to bring them in here beforehand, but I really didn't think I'd need it. Live and learn, friends. Live and learn. Okay, we're going to move on to the next section, which is, again, super simple. Just ignore the crossbar and just start tucking again around row number 2. You're going to tackle that burlap all the way around it, even it out. Pull. Pull and ruffle. Pull and ruffle. I'm going to have to get tacos now. Like, how do you talk about tacos so much and not get tacos? What are you going to do? That's hard. Okay. Usually I would have tried to get this to be at a crossbar. So I have 2 options. Option 1 is I lose all these ruffles and I crossbar here. But I'm just going to secure it to the actual center wreath ring. I think it's going to be fine. I'm going to tuck it under a little bit so that it has a little bit of girth. And then the zip tie is going to go around row number 2 or ring number 2. I'm just going to make sure that it's tackled very well. Good. Very nice. Super simple. I'm going to cut this off. You won't be able to see it, but if you're concerned, you could tuck this under so that the smooth side's up. But I mean, seriously, like, what are you going to see? You'd have to go looking for it, in which case you deserve to see it if you're going to have that level of ambition. Okay. This is going to tuck under and you won't see it at all. Beautiful. Ew. Ew, 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 ew. All right. Let's start the next guy. So hopefully this will get me through most. Well, no, the next row is going to be even bigger. We shall see. Because keep in mind, I don't have to do another row. This is already quite full, but I will do another row because I'd like for it to be even fuller than that. Okay, again, we're going to make sure we're rolling under, not over. I'm going to tuck it under. And we're going to go to the second ring here. And I'll slide this up. And then in between the second and third so that it is... Oh, dude, you took off on me. That's not cool. Go where you're supposed to be. All right. So that we are surrounding that second ring. Okay. I'm going to zip tie this down as well. In the exact same way. I don't want to be too far from the end because it's around the ring. It's not going anywhere. Okay. Beautiful. Where are you coming from? Okay, so to get eventually you won't see that. It'll fade into all the ruffles. And if it doesn't, I'll cover it with something. The sign or the bow. I like to take it easy. Life is stressful. Crafting shouldn't be. It should be fun. Something goes wrong? Oh well. We'll figure it out. Make it work for you. Pivot, you know. Ross Geller it. You'll be fine. You know, it's reaching the point where that's a reference no one's gonna know anymore. That's like old references now. Time passes. All right. I just destroyed that. I ripped it like the Hulk. Anyway, I'll fix it later. If I can see it. It might blend in and I won't even notice it. Okay. I think I have room for 2 more ruffles maybe. And then we're going to move on to the next and final section. Okay, that's good. So the first time I did make a wreath this way, I really panicked about how do I get to like the next row? Do I have to cut this off and stop and tie it down and all that? But no, you actually don't need to do that. You can just, the same way we skipped that bar, we're going to skip that bar and pivot to the next row. That's all. Super simple. You won't see it. It'll all blend into the ruffles. And we will all celebrate. We shall rejoice together on the ruffles. So at this point, if I'm keeping score, which I always do, let's say the wreath base ring, the frame itself was probably $1.50 to $1.75, depending where I got it, because I don't remember. Dollar Tree or Dollarama, one or the other. So let's say each roll of this jute is $5 from Dollarama. I am currently on roll number 2. I'm going to be using 3 types of ribbon. However, you don't need to use 3. You could use 1 type of ribbon. And then 1 roll would do you, I think, for the bow we're going to be doing. And let's say a roll of ribbon from the dollar store is like another $1.50, $1.75. And then that witch sign, I think, was $5. Although not all signs are that expensive. That one might have been $5 because it had that pole to stick it in the grass, like the lawn. It's like a lawn sign, not just a regular hanging decor sign. So perhaps it was a bit more pricey because of that. And then what? A few cents in zip ties and some glue. And then whatever other like random things you're going to put in. I have things from my craft stash, like, actually, I don't even know what I have. Some ornament balls and things like that. All right. We are getting ready to go to the next row. Lovely. I have a little more room here. I want to fill it. This is a little bit challenging to get around that original piece of burlap we tied down on the crossbar. But that's okay. I'll tuck it in and you won't even see it. All right. Okay, I'm pleased with that. This is a rogue ruffle. Where's your counterpart? There. Okay, good. So this is row 2, completely full of ruffle. So really, you could stop here if you want to. It doesn't look bad. It's quite ruffly. And there's some rogues I'll have to fix later. Okay, let's move on. We are going to move to the next row. So ring number 3 right here. Okay. We're going to just move the taco. So I'm going to slide the burlap onto that side. Okay. And then this side as well. Wonderbar. And just, we're going to taco that one too. Tacos all around. All right. Okay, we good? I just want it to be level, like even. Okay, here we go. This is going to be a touch more of a pull because of the ruffles from the previous row. But this is going to make it so full now. It's going to look so good. I'm going to hold the crossbar so that it doesn't pull on my burlap again. Attitude. Crossbar has attitude. Doesn't that look great? I love it. Yeah, definitely 2 rows for Mary. Because when it comes to crafting, if you're not going to be extra, why are you even going to bother, you know? You're already here. You might as well ruffle. All right, we are doing really well. What is this random piece of purple? Where? Like... All right. This section is as full as it's going to get. Let's move to the next one. I wonder if 3 rolls is going to be enough. Can you imagine if I can't get all the way around? Oh, that would tick me off. But whatever, I'll deal with it. If I can't complete the second row, then I'll do what I said earlier. I'll put the sign to cover it, or I'll use the bow, or whatever. We'll figure it out. No biggie. All right. We've got row 3. What's happening here? What has happened to you? Okay, that's better. That was very weird. Okay, good. The other great thing about this is when you're done and you want to like mess with it a little bit to make it more even and fluffier and stuff, it's so easy to move it because the ruffle is just so adjustable, you know? Look at how great that looks. Geez, for real, I am probably going to need 4. I don't have 4. I have 3. So we're on a cliffhanger here to see how this goes. I definitely have to go check and see what my regular burlap rolls, what the size of them are. I truly think I remember doing a Thanksgiving burlap wreath or like fall, autumn or something last year. I have a video on my channel where I did a burlap wreath base like this. I swear I thought I only used 1 roll. Oh, well. Keep life interesting. Am I even halfway? Yeah, I'm halfway. You know what? I might get away with 3 rolls. Now, I could try to get away with it by being less ruffly in each section. Like I could try to extend the burlap further by putting less ruffles per section, which I guess would be considered what, like less is more. Okay, I finished this whole row in that section. Excellent. I couldn't have planned it better to be able to close this off. Lovely. Okay. I even have a crossbar. Maybe I should go the opposite direction. I got it. I shouldn't have used black. I can't see it. All right. I got it. I'm going to tuck this just a little bit. We don't need that much in the zip tie, just enough so that it doesn't go flying around town. Yeah, that's good. Dude, you almost made me cut my burlap. Not cool. Okay. Yeah, we've done half. Look at how warped it looks. Oh, gracias Dio, I had 3. 6.4 meters, 21 feet. But I don't know. Maybe I had like a go-go gadget type of burlap before. I gotta cut this after. Okay. I'm not gonna put this on the crossbar because I already put that one on the crossbar. But again, I'm just gonna slide the end piece under and then in here between this 3rd row and the outer row, and just make sure it surrounds row number 3. Yeah, this is definitely a smarter way of doing it. I made my life so hard before. Oh, Mary. Typical Mary. Make your life hard, then realize it, and, you know, fix yourself. Adjust it. All right, here we go. Very good. Look at how neat it is on the back because this method is just so, oh yeah, that's what it looks like when you go from one row to the other. It just has like a little floop. A little floop. All right. We shall continue. Okay, good. Why are you being so difficult, Wazo? Okay. I need a handbrake. I need a handbrake for a second. Let me have a sip of water. All right, here we go. We recommence. I'm going to go to the next section, actually. It's important to not let it fold over or it's going to drive you crazy. That's what happened on the last one for me. And 0 stars, do not recommend. It's going to be more complicated because of that ruffle, obviously. There's not as much room. But it's more about this folding like this. If it can fold like that before it gets to this ribbon piece, I mean to this ring, you're fine. Okay, that's going really well. All right. Awesome. We are almost done. This is the last section right here. Yippee! 3 rolls did it. I'm so pleased. I was worried that it wasn't going to make it because it was pretty touch and go for a minute there. Okay. Let us continue. It is really a challenge to not have it fold when it goes. Oh, we're doing good right now. See, I got cocky. Okay, we're coming up on the end here. Oh man, is my hand hurting now. Okay, we are right at the end here. Okay. I think that is as far as we're going to go. Can I fit any more ruffles? Maybe a bit, actually. It's just this guy keeps trying to get in the way. Scram! Okay. I'd say we're done. So I'm just going to cut this so that it's out of my way. So basically 2.5 rolls. No joke. $5 a roll. Let's see if I can get it to come right to the end at that. Where is this ruffle? I feel like I'm blind right now. Oh, that's why. Awesome. Madonna, why are you giving me such a hard time? We're at the end here. We should be on the same team. Okay. So much trouble for no reason. Okay, one last zip tie. See, you were mean to me, and now I'm going to put you in shackles. Let that be a warning to anyone who crosses me. I'm kidding. I will not be hurting anybody. I'm all bark and no bite. Awesome. All right. Gonna tuck this under a little bit. All right. we are going to wipe this down a little bit because gross with all of this burlap fluff flyaways. No me biatch. Okay. All right, so I'm thrilled with the way this turned out. It's nice and full and really fluffy. Now, I can get a little ridiculous about fluffing and adjusting and whatever. So I'm going to try to control myself. And we're just going to do like one quick go round. What do you think? What do you think? All right. So let's move on to making our bow now so that we have all of the components ready. The sign is, I think, dry at this point. Our wreath base is done. So let's move on to making the bow. So for the bow, we're going to need a ruler. And as I said before, you could make a bow of one color, in which case you only need one ribbon, one type of ribbon or one color ribbon. But I want to make a 3-color bow. So I'm using 3 different ribbons. Wowzers, burlap. Jeez. Talk about. Okay, for this particular bow, I'm going to make really long pieces because I'm going to use it for the bow, like the ruffle of the bow itself, as well as the tail. So rather than cut the tail separately, I have another one of these, so we're okay. Okay, I wanted to do like 20 inches, 20 or 24. So this is only 17 and you're already not interested in continuing, eh? Okay, we're going to come back to you. I'll decide what I want to do about that. I'm only going to be doing 2 of each color, so I kind of don't want to. Oh, all right. Do I have another one of these? I think so. All right. So 17. Let's go 21. Okay. So here's the question. Do I cut another one or do I leave this one shorter? For now, I'm going to leave it shorter. If it frustrates me, I will cut another one. But if I don't have to open this ribbon, I'm not going to. So next I've got this really pretty purple velvet, which I've never seen before. 1 yard, 36 inches. Okay. So that already tells you that I'm going to need 2 rolls if I want this to be. What a pretty ribbon. I get to 21, right? Oh, I forgot to talk about the fact that these are wired. I never work without wires in my ribbon. All my ribbon is wired. Oh God. I'm tired. I'm sorry. Yeah, okay. So I'm not going to use you. You can stay on the roll. I have another ribbon. So that goes to show you that you can't do this with just 1 roll of ribbon. Even if you used 1 color, you'd still need multiple rolls. if you're going to make them this long. But you don't need to make the bow this big. You could be less extra. Okay. Very good. So move these guys out of the way. Here returns my favorite black glitter ribbon. Every time I use this ribbon, I cry a little bit inside my heart because I'm scared that it'll be the last time soon. This monster roll has done me so lovely. I have done so many projects with this ribbon since I bought it. It's such a great. Like, I'm legitimately sad that it's going to be done soon. This is going to be a pretty bow. I like these colors. I think I just jumped my finger a little bit, but that's okay. Okay. Very good. So we've got 2 pieces of each one. Let's get this out of the way. And I love this bow because it's really, really simple. First, before we start making the bow, I just want to talk about good side, bad side for a second. So good side is the side with the design, in this case, the glitter. Bad side clearly doesn't have any glitter. Same with the velvet. So you're always wanting to keep track of where your good side is so that the good side is always on the outside of your bow. So in this case, what we're going to be doing is just folding each of these pieces of ribbon in half. Okay. I feel like this green one is the longest of all of them. I must have like cut the first one really long and all the other ones shorter. It doesn't really matter. Okay, so they're all folded in half. I like to do a dovetail on my ribbon, so I'm going to do that now before we actually gather it to make the bow. So you don't have to do this if you're not interested in a fishtail or a dovetail, but I really like the way it looks. So we're just going to fold it in half and then cut at a diagonal. Get that really nice. So again, I'm just going to fold corner to corner as evenly as possible because then they'll be even with each other. I really do need to get a new pair of scissors. I go through scissors like, wow. Not that I throw them away. I just complain about them and then use them again later and go, wow, these scissors suck. This is going to be a challenge. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do all 4 pieces together. Wow, this is... That's not bad. It's not the most sharp I've ever cut anything. Let's try these ones. This is a very thick ribbon. Oh boy. That was the best one for sure. For sure. All right. Beautiful. So for I need another black pipe cleaner. Okay, so for this bow, what we're going to do is alternate colors. Okay. And what we want to do is scrunch at the almost halfway mark. So say that's halfway. I'm going to go up just a tiny bit, and then we're going to scrunch. Same here. We're going to scrunch. Don't be so sticky. Okay. Bend this in half. Okay, so I'm going to give this a few good twists. Okay, a few is like 2 or 3, and then there's Mary's version of a few. And basically all we're going to do now is just open all of this. So open the bottom, which will be the tails. We want all of the good sides facing up. We're going to spread them out. I want the ribbon. All right. I will continue to adjust these a little bit as we go, but I can't handle that. I need to do the bow. I need to do the... Just open up all the loops. And then we're going to move them around. I didn't open this one yet. It's that easy. Make a loop, open the loop up, and just keep messing with it until you have them in a position you like. Add more ribbon if you want a bigger bow. Make them longer if you want longer like tails. I would like all right. What do you think? What do you think? Not bad, right? Pretty. Okay, I can honestly fluff a bow for an eternity, so I'm going to stop because I will fluff it again after I attach it to the actual wreath. So, okay, we've got all of our components ready to go now. We've got our wreath base. We've got our bow. And we've got our sign, which is nicely dry. And $4 because I was wondering how much it was earlier. Now we know. Okay. Don't forget to hydrate. Here we go. I think step number 1 is to determine where we want this sign. Do we want it in the middle? In which case, where are we putting our bow? We can't cover what's being said. I don't want to cover her hat. So I'm actually leaning towards a side and then the bow here. Yeah. So do I do it on the right side or should I this side? On the left. What do you think? I think I like it better the opposite way. Okay. So I'm going to attach the sign first. Now I put enough pipe cleaners here to have put it in the center. And now I have a bit of overkill for where I need it over here, which is fine. So I'm just going to make them be okay. Actually, do I need these? I can make these work too. I'm going to go like this. So that now I can straddle. And I'm just going to tuck them under this ring. Bueno. Well, they barely reach each other. That's okay. Barely is still some. Sufficient. We'll make it work. Awesome. I don't think this one's going to reach at all. But then it doesn't have to go all the way around it. Oh, it does though. That's wonderful. This sign isn't going to go anywhere. What about you? You're just rogue? All right. We've got this. Let's see, ready? Lovely. Very good. Yeah, I still like it on the side. So let's see where all these. Okay, I'm going to pull those two ribbons down, not ribbons, pipe cleaners down towards the bottom of this bow and tie them. I lost it. It feels like the purple ribbon, that's why. Okay. I'm going to flatten it by doing this, but that's okay. I'll just puff it out again. All right. This is nice and secure. I don't feel like it's going to go anywhere. Oh. What did I pull there? Is it a loop or a foot? That's just a, okay. Look at what I did to the bow now. It's the most smushed of the smushed. But don't worry, we shall fix. It's so much easier to work with a bow when it's attached to something like a wreath. Because it's not moving out of your hand, so you can actually I would love to get one of these black ribbon or one of these black loops over here. I wonder if I can do that. All right. Now let's get these little tails spread out. Now, there's always a million ways to attach things to a wreath to make them more permanent. Could glue everything down if you want, of course. I have a tendency not to do that as much. I'll do it more with like the little decorations that go, you know, like the ornaments and pumpkins and little bones and spiders, but not with things like the sign and the wreath. I generally don't do that. I will generally use pipe cleaners to attach it. And part of the reason is I like making wreaths. I make them often, and there's only so many wreaths you can have. So I eventually take them apart and use the bases again. All right, what do you think? This ruffle is bothering me. There. Okay. So in terms of decorations for this, I'm going to keep it pretty minimal because I really want the sign and the bow to speak on their own because I feel like it's already really impactful just with these few things, but I do have a couple things, so we're going to see what we like. Number one, I've got a couple of little witch hats, which I think are really cute, but I don't think they're going to look very good for this. So let's see. Let's try. These are actually hair barrettes, which I think is so cute. But like if I were to clip this, is it cute or is it stupid? The thing is, she's wearing one, so it kind of makes me feel like there's a bit of a competition happening as opposed to it being a cute little, what if I clip it to the bow? Again, if she wasn't wearing one, maybe. Okay, I'm thinking no to you. We'll think about it. I have some ornaments. Let's see. I feel like I don't need those. Okay, let's. Actually, I have orange glitter ones. Where should I put this? Up here? There's no black ones down here. What do we think? Do we like the ornaments? Do we not like the ornaments? I think I like it. I think I'm going to glue them in. Do I want to adjust any of them? I don't like these two oranges right beside each other. Okay. We got black, purple, orange. Okay. I'm going to attach those. Let's move these out of the way. I have like styrofoam like bones I could put on here, but I feel like that doesn't really fit this to me. I don't know why, but a witch, I don't know. I've got some spiders too. I wouldn't mind some spiders. Different purples, but that's okay. We got a glitter black, a glitter green, a little pumpkin, but I'm not going to use that. Okay, where do we want to put these guys? I think I don't want to use this purple one. So I think we're going to stick with, I've got 2 green and 2 black. I think that might be too many. So let's see. Oh my God, so many spiders in your face. That's terrible. No, I think green here. Should I put one on her hat? I think two's fine. And back to the witch's hat. I feel like they're always going to compete with each other, though. Like, it has to be one or the other. So no to you. I will use you for something else another day. Okay, I'm going to start gluing these bad boys in now. And we're going to call it a day. So I often make what I consider fairly minimalist wreaths. And what I mean by that is I've seen a lot of people. Okay, this is a good opportunity to use your finger protectors. Ladies and gents, I'm going to grab mine in a second. I can't let go of this now that I've put my finger on it. But this is how I burned myself last time. So let's all try to be more intelligent. Okay, here we go. Finger protectors. Yeah, I see a lot of wreath makers who make some, oh boy, some stunning stuff with like big flower arrangements and these huge long-tailed bows, and they're beautiful. They're such like showstopper kind of wreaths, but that's not really my groove, you know what I'm saying? I like these little simple, sometimes really minimal kind of wreaths. You just get to have a little bit of fun decorating with some fun colors. This is how I burned myself last time. Be smarter. Just a little pop of color here and there. The ruffle on this wreath is, in my opinion, show-stopping enough that you don't really need to do too much more. Because don't get me wrong, I have skulls, I have bones, I have like other little things we could put on here, but why? Okay, where am I going to put this spider exactly? Here? Right between them. Did I glue this yet? No. So do I want to change where I'm gluing it? Maybe I should put it here. No, I like this there. So if I was going to be gluing these ornaments down to a flat base, like wreath base, let's say I use this burlap to wrap the wreath instead of making the ruffles, then I would have cut off the neck of this ornament, which sounds very aggressive. When in reality, it's not. Okay, I'm going to also do the spider now while we're at it. You're covered in glitter, Gretchen. All right. Let's give you a spinneroo. These are both. Do I have another glitter black ball? Yes. I would prefer not to have two of the exact same. How do I mix this then? I'm going to put you. I'm going to switch you guys. And then there. Oh, shit. I guess that's the spot where I'm putting it since it dripped a bunch of glue there. Well, you know, sometimes you pick the spot, sometimes the spot picks you. I kind of screwed up the way I had things set up, though, because I wanted it to go there. Let's see. What do I do different? Maybe I'll put this in the middle. Yeah. I don't think that's stuck. I gotta watch my thumb. Okay. I think this needs to go up here. Okay. Jeez, look at that steam. This glue is no joke. All right, we're about an hour and a half in, and I'm literally on the last 2-3 things. And then we're going to add a piece of jute string and hang this lady on the door. No burning at the stake, but you will be hung. Apologies to you and yours. But you're going to look so good on my front door. So the ends do justify the means. Just saying. Okay. I think all that's left is Senor Green Face. I think, let's see. You guys get out of here before I accidentally step on one and it'll feel like a freaking Lego. Where do we want that spider in relation to this one? There, there, there. I feel like I want it here. Yeah. Here. I can't decide, here or here. But if I put it there, this just feels really bare. So do I have to put something else there? What else could I put there if it feels so bare? We've got... I could put What do I have? I have orange glitter. No, we have an orange ball there, so I can't do that. I have a black ball. Where would I put? Wait. What feels bare? If I put this here. I'm not a fan. They're all too close to each other. So I would need like, I wish I had another purple glitter one, but I don't. I only have this purple. I'm like really beating this into the ground. What if I just put it right in the middle? Right there. I don't know. What do you guys think I should do? Tell me in the chat. I can't make a decision. I think I'm going to... Oh, jeez. Don't have any more black spiders. I only have this purple one. All right, I've decided. I'm going to put it right there, and I'm going to move on with my life because this is getting a little bit redonkulous. I'm going to have a little sip of water. And then I'm going to check my battery here because how are we doing? Ooh, just one bar. Well, I only need enough for this. All right. We are going to attach a piece of jute string to the back of this. Fluff the bow a little bit more because that's what I do. Okay. I don't think I need these anymore. So I like to start off by making mine a little long because you can just tie your knot a little bit shorter than you need the loop to be. Okay. Lovely. How you doing, dude? Oh, his body is caliente, man. Seriously, that glue is no joke. Okay, so I would like for it to hang with her level. So I think right where my hand is should go well. All right. I have attached, I'll show you what I did. I attached it like that. So I pulled one loop over the other to hang it off the ribbon. I'm sorry, off the ring. That's it. We are done. Our wreath is complete. we have gone wicked with our little witch here. I'm going to just fluff up my loops again. And I guarantee you that when I hang this on the door, I will also stand there for a solid 5 minutes doing this again. Because it is equal parts fun and, in my opinion, necessary. All right. Well, there you go. We are all done our witch wreath, and I hope you enjoyed making it with me because I had a really good time making it. I love the way it turned out. I can't wait to put this up on my front door. If you're interested in learning more about wreath making, I have a bunch of beginner-friendly videos on my channel, and I'll be doing a live every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for the rest of 2025. And I hope you join me because it's a lot of fun and I really enjoy making these, and I'd love to hear from you. So please comment below if you crafted along with me today, or if you were just here to enjoy a good time with me. I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so that we can continue to get crafty together. Toodaloo!